Yes, everyone, welcome to my hotel room. We are going to be doing a video today talking about Kylian Mbappé and PSG accepting a world record 259.60, depending on where you get your exchange rate, £1 million bid from Al Hilal. What? Now, I don't think this bid is going to be something that Kylian Mbappé takes up. I think this is very clear that this is PSG looking to find a resolution for him. And Real Madrid seems like the most likely destination. He will be linked with United. I don't think that's realistic. But I think this is the realistic move is Real Madrid. But you have to pay attention to this. So I saw something yesterday, and I don't know how realistic this is. And let me know how the audio is, because I've never done it with this particular sort of setup before. Does it sound all right? Because this is all coming through my phone. Not only is it coming through my phone, I can actually move this around. So I'll give you a quick room tour if you want. There we go. There's the balcony. And there's me again. So how's that? Technology in that. So let's get into the actual details of what is going on with this bid then. So they missed out on Lionel Messi. Oh dear. And they've now made a €300 million bid, $332 million, about £260 million for Kylian Mbappé late last night, which could see him join Cristiano Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia in a league that's doing an absolute bit of carnage this summer. Now, PSG confirmed the offer and has given Al Hilal the permission to then speak to Kylian Mbappé, basically accepting the bid. So, as it says on the thumbnail, the bid's been accepted. The other part of that is getting Kylian Mbappé to accept it. Now, all the reports that are covering this are suggesting that Mbappé is not interested in the offer. And the offer, from what I saw yesterday, was somewhere in the region of 60 million a month, so potentially up to 600 million pounds a year, which is, well, it'd be more than that. It'd be 720. That's a lot of scratch, even for just Joe Watt. Let's go and have it 1 year, score 100 goals, make $750 million, and dip tax free. Wild. So anyway, he is in a contract standoff with PSG. His decision is that he doesn't want to take up the option of a 12-month extension on his deal. He wants to walk away for free next summer. Now, he might go and do that. That's a very realistic thing that I think could happen. PSG don't want to lose him for free, especially if they can make a quick £260 million off him. They'd absolutely want to flip him. And Real Madrid probably would like to get him for free next year as well and be able to put all of the money they save into paying him. Apparently, he also gets an €80 million loyalty bonus if he's still there in September. So PSG are going, hang on, if he's still here in September, he's going for free in the summer, and we have to pay him €80 million on top of his wages. Of course, they want to get rid of him. So I'll go and put him in the mix straight off the bat there, throwing a bid in. Is a big interesting one. He was cut from their pre-season tour of Japan on Saturday, and they are determined to find an offer for him unless he can be convinced to sign a new contract. Now, I'm going to ask you lot, what do you think is going to happen? I'll give you the options. Stay and go on a free, so just put go on a free. Sign a new deal, go to Al Hilal, or go to Real Madrid. I'll go a fifth option, go to a fifth club, which I don't know who that could be at the moment. It could be Newcastle. Imagine Newcastle actually put the money on the table and went and took him. Let me know what you guys are reckoning in the mixer for that one. Is that a realistic one or not? JSM Radio says, how is a $250 million bid possible? They just do it. Deb Scrolling says, go on a free. Connor says, Chadham's incoming for United, 10 mil, heard it here first. Sky Vikings said they never should have given him a contract, that they weren't prepared to have him walk away on a free from bad business. Am I wearing makeup? No, I'm just fit. Ava says, if he comes to the Sandbox, how likely that he can come back to Europe? No club will be able to afford him. That's an interesting one. Yeah, so we saw Chelsea inflate the transfer market in the early 2000s, and then we saw Manchester City inflate the transfer market following that. And Barcelona have had a big hand in inflating that transfer market. And people will put this at United that we've broken the British transfer record lots and lots of times. But I don't necessarily think United have inflated the transfer market for everyone. I think United just get handed like horrendous deals. But make no mistake, the Saudi League and the carnage that's going on with them are 1,000%, and maybe even to literally the tune of 1,000%. They are inflating the transfer market for everybody else. Like, it's going to get really, really, really interesting into how this plays out. And the other thing that I'm noticing as well is, obviously MLS is trying to do bits to compete in this. Inter Miami has just become like this Barcelona tribute act. And obviously now Messi is going to be proclaimed as the greatest of all time, with no shadow of a doubt, because he's got the marketing machine of America behind him. But I think it's going to be really interesting. The next 5 years, you might see a total transformation of the football transfer market. Tom says, why would they have offered so much? Surely PSG would have accepted 100 million. So me and Matt was around the pool a little bit ago, and we was talking about this, and he was saying, like, how's Jordan Henderson ended up on 700 grand a week? Do you think they're just going in with absolutely mind-melting offers? Like, do you think they started him at 100 grand a week? Like, sat down with Jordan Henderson, it's like, right, Jordan, how would £100,000 a week sound? How about £200,000 a week? How about £300? Did they do that until he said yes? Or did they just go and go boom and stick it on the table and say, here's what you can have, what do you fancy? Because that's what I don't know the answer to. Like, where are they getting the figures from? The figures are mental. And like Tom says there, surely PSG would have accepted 100 million. Yeah, probably. 100 million is basically 180 million for them, because if he's there in September, they've got to pay that extra 80 million, haven't they? Are we doing a meet-up in San Diego? At the moment, I don't think anything's planned. We will be at the game, so maybe we'll just do something at the game. If anyone knows any bars that would be happy to host us to do that, let us know. It's a Duck says, PSG said 150 to 200 from Real Madrid, so I'll offer 300. Sounds like good PR to me. Plus 700 million for 1 year, but he needs to stay for 2 years for it to be tax-free. Well, there you go. So he could go. Kylian Mbappé has basically just been offered the opportunity to have 1.5 billion put into his bank account. And he's probably going to say no. Artem says, goes to Real Madrid on loan with a compulsory fee at the end of the deal. Could see that one. Alan says, could he decline the personal terms and still live on a free next year, or are PSG able to force this move? No, he's got a contract. Contract law will protect him. Wayne says it's like Brewster's Millions. Are we doing a meet-up in Las Vegas? We're at United Con, so yes, that would be the meet-up, I assume. Poster says, PSG just flexing because they know Mbappe won't accept. Is it all just PR? I don't know, you know. It might be real. Like, you could say it was all just PR if they only had Ronaldo in that league, but look who else is in that league. How could you say it's only PR now? You can't say it's only PR now. Like, there's so many people going over there that surely there's some truth to this, surely. Lucas says, doesn't Qatar ownership worry you, seeing how PSG have been run? I mean, yeah, because you have no idea what we're getting. No idea. And that's what we don't have any idea whether it is technically private owned, technically public owned, a little bit of a hybrid. Is it shadow games? Either way, we don't know anything about anything. Are we getting some good Mexican food in San Diego? Tonight, I believe we're going out for some tacos, which I believe is the staple in San Diego, and it's the one. Connor says, imagine even seeing that offer on the paper with your name on it. Disco Stew says, nobody else can afford him unless he's a free next year. Wages are bonkers already. Correct. Do I think Mainu should go on loan? I think Mainu's got a really, really interesting decision to make. Because I think he could learn a lot by playing, but you learn the most by staying, but I think you could learn the most by going and playing somewhere. Where that is, I don't know, to be honest with you. Con1WS says, just lost it. Where's he gone? Can't believe Qatar are letting their star go to Saudi. I mean, they're not necessarily, are they? They're just trying to recoup some of their cash for him. Gary says, any rum yet? I did have a rum yesterday, and it was disgusting. Thomas says he can literally sit and not even play for a season if he wants. Yes. Lou says if he's on €22 a second, if he dropped a 10, it wouldn't be worth his time to pick it up. Ralph says, glad to see you spent some time at the 9/11 Memorial. Everyone who visits New York should spend some time seeing how historic it is. I wish I'd have gone in the actual museum, because there's not really a lot to sort. There's no like centerpiece really of the the 9/11 memorial. Obviously, you got the reflection pools with everybody's names on the side of them. But I wouldn't have minded being able to go and like read and do a little bit more there. So I should have gone to the museum, but it was absolutely hectic. We've been pulling 20-hour days, and probably more when you throw in the time zones on top of that as well. Johnson says, "Would I take Mbappe at United?" No, I think he's probably a bit of a nightmare when it comes to the ego issue. How would you spend 6 million a month for a year? Six or 60, because 60 is what he's going to be on. Um, yeah, I could probably spend it, to be honest. Six, I could spend six. 60, yeah, you're getting into the. I'm going to have to start buying like Picasso's and countries at that sort of cash. Um, Tell him, can Mbappe play for United, FC United of Manchester? According to me, what? Put your sentence in something that makes more sense. Hendrik says, "Where's Ash? We need that podcast back." He did say he was coming out to San Diego, but he's not come out to San Diego, so I have no idea what's going on with him. We might be doing one with 5 tomorrow. Aaron says, "Take him for a year on loan if we don't get a striker. Ain't having Veghorst again." Does the political climate between Saudi and Dubai stop them from selling him to City? Well, Saudi and UAE, I think would be more correct kind of term. But you've got Qatar and Saudi potentially selling him here now. So it's one of those, isn't it? I've got to try and come to Asada Fries. Nico's in Ocean Beach is the best. Cash only. Where's that? Is that in San Diego? We're going out for. It's Joe's birthday today. So we're going out for Joe's birthday for a meal later, and we'll have a little bit of sightseeing. We're going to be doing a podcast together in about 3 hours or an hour, 1 hour or 3 hours. I can't remember which. And then we'll see what's going on. Did I just say no to Mbappe? Yeah, because while you're sitting there thinking about Mbappe, the player for 90 minutes. I think Mbappe, the player with his wages and with the reported ego issues that you've seen at PSG, no, I don't. When you're building a team, those things can get destroyed by selfish assholes. Is Kieran Malloy back from Wales? Yes, he played on Saturday. I haven't actually seen the game back myself, but he did. Carlos, you're going to feel madly disrespected when I see the beer prices at the Allegiant Stadium. Which one's the Allegiant Stadium? Which one's that? We're at the Snapdragon tomorrow, I believe, which is a college stadium, right? Is that right? Daniel says, today we celebrate the death of our first £1 million player, and on the same day, this football is dead. Yep, rest in peace to Trevor Francis. I only seen the news. I haven't seen what has happened yet, but hope him and his family hope his family are all right. Ross says Mbappe around United would hurt Marcus Rashford. It's not that. I think it's more that he would upset the balance in the team. It seems like the team's got a real good sort of vibe and energy about it at the moment. Hell Europa says, mad if you wouldn't take Mbappe. Well, call me mad then, because I wouldn't. Like, this isn't me having any sort of comment on his ability as a footballer, because I don't think his abilities as a footballer are in question. I think he's from the top draw. But there's more to that. Like, problematic players can cause you a fucking nightmare. You want a team harmony, and you want a team that's all willing to push in the same direction. And I don't think he'd do that. That being said, if I had to give my own guesses on how this is going to go down, I think he ends up at Madrid this summer. I don't know if that's on a loan or on a permanent. I think he ends up in Real Madrid colours before the end of this window. I think they're the only ones crazy enough to just start throwing money at this until it happens. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up there, but cheers for tuning in. Thought this little setup worked all right. It's dead easy to set up, and looks like it's pretty good quality as well. Let me know how the audio is, because I don't know if that's any good. But cheers for tuning in, as always. Make sure to subscribe if you are new around here. Tune in for the Paddock Pod later. All 4 of us are on it, and we will see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side. Right then, it's time to get down. I'm still here. Can I just say, by the way, someone needs to start importing these into England because these are absolutely sensational. C2O coconut water. I could ditch Red Bull for these. I genuinely could. These are absolutely sensational. Anyway, I'm out of here. It's not a sponsor. I wish it was. Everyone knows anyone from there. Tell me to get in touch and start importing them into England because I will live on these things. Right, I'm really going this time. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.